Hello friends, so today's Wellness Tips for You Wednesday is literally how to survive trying to stay reasonably healthy throughout the festive period. You've been asking me for tips on this, so I thought I'd just do a live on it, and what better opportunity than Wellness Tips for You Wednesday. So I think the thing certainly underlining it now, I'm in exactly the same predicament as a lot of you guys. I've just today finished my 6-week program. I've had amazing results. I've been teetotal for the 6 weeks. The festive period is coming up. I love a glass or three of wine. But do I really want to let it all slip completely? No, is the answer. However, I know how hard it is once you get into that festive mode. It's really tough to actually jump out of it. So I'm going to sort of share a few strategies that I'm going to be using with you and that we use within our nutrition programs as well, in the hope that they might just help sort of steer you along the kind of slightly curvy, narrow path, so that you get to January. Hey, thanks for the hearts. So that you get to January not feeling like you've let it all slip, not feeling like you've put on pound after pound after pound, and so that you're energized and ready to attack the new decade. Can you believe it? So essentially, I think underpinning everything is decent sleep. Now, I know it's the party season. We tend not to sleep as much as we normally should do. But when you get the opportunity, make sure you get your Zeds. If you get your Zeds, then you are going to be just better at making thoughtful decisions that are going to support you. When we're sleep deprived, we automatically reach for the booze, the cakes, the sweet things, because that's what our brain is saying. I need immediate energy, go and eat something that's sugary and actually not ever so good for you. So sleep underlines everything. So enjoy the parties. If it means an all-nighter, have a blast, go for it. I love all-night parties, but just make sure the next night and the night after that you sort of catch up on your Zeds, because sleep deprivation, it's crazy. Even just like a couple of hours, it makes a massive difference to how your chemicals react in your body the next day. You really do pay a high price on so many different levels. So make sure if you're going to stay up all night, it's well worth it, and really party hard. That's my only advice, is just bloody well go for it. Have a blast and then catch up for a couple of nights afterwards, so that you can kind of repair the damage as much as you can do. The second one is keep drinking plenty of water. Now, I know this is a boozy time of the year. I'm about to share some delectable, boozy, slightly cleaned up, but incredibly alcoholic cocktails in my one of the boot camps that I'm running at the moment. Because it's the festive season. It's a festive fit club, so we're all pretty much staying on, within the straight and narrowish as much as possible, but we are having a bit of fun too. So clean up your cocktails a bit if you can do. That just means don't go for like the overly sugary, syrupy drinks. There are healthier sugar alternatives that you can use. In fact, if you want me to share my cleaned up cocktails or cleaned up drinks, I've got one of them as well, an ebook. I'm also going to add that to my boot camp today. If you'd like a copy of that, DM me and I'll send that across to you, because it just doesn't take any of the fun of the drinks away. It just makes them slightly healthier, slightly cleaner. But yeah, if you're out on the splash, make sure ideally have a decent pint, a big glass of water before you start, and then try and alternate every drink with a glass of water. There's no rocket science here. It's just common sense, but sometimes you just need to hear it again and just to remind you. So try and maintain the water, and obviously drink a good serving of water before you go to bed, so that it helps to dilute the booze during your sleeping hours. Now, on the food front, we have a few tips that actually make all the difference, and when I followed these tips, I have hit my lowest weights ever while still eating plenty. The one thing to remember the most is veggies most. Now, I know a lot of people don't like their vegetables. That's one of the reasons why I have my daily shake, because it has the equivalent of about 6 bags of salad in it. I actually do like my vegetables too, so it is pretty easy for me, but the more veggies we can eat, the better, to be quite honest. And so try and fill up your plate mainly with fill up your plate first with vegetables or salad, and then add the other bits like the protein and the carbs. If you are at a party or out for dinner, if the bread basket comes along, which it generally does, try and avoid it, because normally it's empty calories. I know they're really, really tempting to nibble away at, and I'm as guilty as anyone. And to be honest, I think if you go out rarely, just go and enjoy it. But if you're somebody who's got a lot of parties on the go and you really do want to stay on track, avoid the bread basket. It's the quickest tip I can give you. If you're going out for dinner and you know the restaurant you're going to, in the morning, check out the menu. It's so easy to see the menus online these days. Check out what the menu offers and what you are going to order, and then stick to that. Because in the morning, your intentions and your motivation and your determination is way higher than when you get to the restaurant in the evening. You might be hungry. If you're like most of us, you probably thought, oh, I won't eat so much today because I'm going out for dinner tonight and I can splurge and enjoy it a bit. But when you do that, you get there and you're starving hungry, and you tend to have a big starter and a big main, and then you have a dessert, and literally your stomach's just like so full of stuff, and you just end up overeating way more and probably over drinking way more than you need to as well. So if you can at least work out what you're going to eat in the morning, and then just stick to it. Ask for things like, if you're having salads or dressings, ask for those on the side, because generally in restaurants they just cram stuff, masses of stuff on top of your plate. I mean, a salad is generally pretty healthy, but the amount of stuff they stick on top of it, I mean, you can get up to 1,000 calories easily just because of the extras they stick on a salad. So like the croutons, the dressing, extra cheese, that sort of thing, loads and loads of oil. Honestly, salads can really become quite fattening very fast. So again, if you are looking to stay on track, ask for the dressing on the side and just dip into it when you need to dip into it. That's the easiest way of doing it. If you are having a party and you've got things like delicious dips like guacamole or hummus and that sort of stuff, instead of using like chips or croutons or bits of bread, see if there are some like raw vegetables, because again, you can still enjoy the dips, but if you're having raw vegetables with it instead, you're going to be cutting way down on the sort of, well, it's just bread and crunchy stuff like crisps and chips and things. It's just pointless carbs. And if you do want to stay on track, vegetables are going to be a lot more healthy for you, and they're also going to fill you up a lot. One of the reasons we suggest that you eat primarily, fill your plate first of all with vegetables is because they fill you up so much. They're really good for you, but they're great at filling you up as well. Actually, we all tend to eat more protein than we need, and we all tend to eat way more carbs than we need. Now, when we break down our food categories, we break them into protein, fats and carbs. And when we do that, vegetables and fruit form part of our carbs ratio. We normally say about 40% carbs, 30% lean protein, 30% healthy fats. Healthy fats are incredibly important for us, and they also help to fill us up and keep us going longer. But for our nervous systems, healthy fats are absolutely vital for good brain health. Just, we need healthy fats. Our brain, I can't remember, it's something like 70 or 60% of our brain is made out of fat. So it's incredibly important for us. So just remember that vegetables and fruit fall under the carbs category when we break it down into those three food groups. And you want to be making sure your plate is full of primarily vegetables, because it's going to help you stay healthier and fuller and achieve your goals over the festive period. The other thing you can do to help yourself stay accountable is to weigh yourself. Now, I'm not a great proponent of the scale. However, there's one of our nutrition plans where it's very free, but for the first sort of 30 days, we do suggest to weigh yourself every day, which to begin with for me was a real struggle. I didn't even own a set of scales. But it gives you a really good idea of what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And because we're all so individual, our bodies respond differently to different types of food. I realised when I was weighing myself daily that rice really bulks me up. So do things like lentils and chickpeas. As much as I love them, for some reason they make me really gassy, but it's not just hot air. I actually weigh heavier when I eat those. Whereas if I eat things like courgettes or zucchini, if you're over the pond, when I have zoodles, which is like spiralised zucchini, spiralised courgettes, I don't know what happens. It's like a magic potion. The weight drops off me. So when I'm on that plan, I eat a lot of those. They're incredibly good for you as well. They're very high water content, high in fibre, vitamins, minerals. I don't eat pasta anymore. I only eat like zoodles or spaghetti squash. Again, when it's in season, it's fantastic. excuse my dog. You can literally either microwave it for a few minutes or slow roast it in the oven, slice it in half, and then with a fork, if it's spaghetti squash, you literally just sort of break up the inside of it, and it looks like little spaghetti, but it's so much healthier for you. So for me personally, I don't touch pasta anymore. Rice, I tend to substitute with cauliflower rice, which is literally, it's a raw head of cauliflower, and I just break off some florets and I whiz them up in a food processor, and it actually looks a bit like couscous, but we call it cauliflower rice, and I actually bake that in the oven with some coconut oil, just a small amount of coconut oil, bake it for about 20 minutes, and sometimes if I want an extra treat, I put a little bit of desiccated coconut over the top of it. That is divine. It's gorgeous. Or you can pan fry it as well, or you can steam it. Steamed cauliflower rice, I just think it's a bit boring, so I either pan fry mine or I bake it in the oven. But that is a really healthy alternative to rice and to pasta, so bear that in mind as well. I think potatoes, white or red or sweet, I think they're all good for you. I know there's a lot of people out there that say that sweet potatoes have got more nutritional value than a white potato. That's probably absolutely true. But I tend to vary mine up, and I feel that for somebody who eats a lot of vegetables anyway, if I have a white potato, I buy red-skinned white potatoes. I mean, it's normally only that size, so it's not like a mass. It's not like I'm having a giant jacket potato. I love it, and I think also, I don't know if you've read Potatoes Not Prozac. Really cool book, and it goes into a lot of the science behind how potatoes can help us, particularly if you have one at night time. If you struggle with depression or anxiety, check that book out. It's absolutely fascinating. A lot of scientific evidence that backs it up. So Potatoes Not Prozac. It's actually a very, very interesting read. I was really heartened when I read that book, because it makes a lot of good common sense. And potatoes, they're pretty good for us. You know, I think they get a bad rap on the whole. What else would I going to say? Oh yeah, the other thing is, if you struggle with chocolate, just keep it out of sight until you actually plan on eating a little bit. At home, my daughter is a chocoholic, and she's got I make advent calendars every year. And my son, because he's full on with his acting this year, he hasn't had one. He didn't want one for his voice and just keep in good health, because I mean, he literally is full on. He's got 2 lead roles, and he's drumming at night, and he's just like, he's exhausted. So he's really honing in on his nutrition. So chocolate is a no-no pretty much for him. However, there is a bowl of the extras out in our dining room table, and if I don't struggle with chocolate cravings like that too badly, but if you do, make sure that they're not there. So if you don't see it, you're probably not going to think about it too much. The other thing I would also say is, when you have your evening meal, I know a lot of people say, oh, I get such a sweet craving after my evening meal. One really good healthy hack, and it's something that I do, is get a bag of raw cacao nibs. They are super, super bitter, and all you need is like 6 or 8 of them. They're tiny little crunchy things. Stick some of those in, chew them, and literally your craving vanishes within minutes. It's fascinating. But raw cacao is incredibly high in antioxidants. It's really good to help sort of lift your mood as well. It's very high in serotonin. So that, instead of sort of hitting the box of chocolates, it's a much, much healthier option. And last night I knew I'd got a really heavy duty workout today. I finished my 6-week program, and today's workout was an absolute killer, but I crushed it. I was so pleased with myself. And so I ate more carbs last night purposely, because I'd know I'd need the extra energy, and I actually had a dessert after my evening meal too, which is very rare. But as a healthy dessert, have some Greek yogurt, no flavourings, because then that spikes the sugar up. So just plain Greek yogurt, either 0 fat or, you know, whatever fat. Fat doesn't put me off. We all need fat. I eat loads of healthy fats, and I stay slim and I have endless energy. So fat is not the enemy. Healthy fat. I've also got an ebook on healthy fats if you want that. Just again, DM me and just say which ebook you want. It just goes over the 4 sort of healthiest fats. They're coconut oil, olive oil, avocado oil, and what was the other one? I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's quite a useful little sort of ebook that it breaks all down the nutritional values and that sort of thing, when you should use them, that kind of thing. But yeah, so Greek yogurt with a few cacao nibs, and I actually chopped up some dates. I love dates, and a few, literally like quarter of a banana and some goji berries, and beetroot powder. Now, beetroot powder is incredibly good for our health overall, but helps stimulate blood flow. It's actually known as boner juice if you have beetroot juice, because of the help that it helps with blood flow. So, you know, erectile dysfunction and all that kind of stuff. But it sweetens it without spiking your blood sugars, which is important. But it also, it's got this lovely earthy taste. I adore beetroots. If you hate beetroots, probably don't put beetroot powder on it. Maybe put some cinnamon, because that has a similar effect. Helps to regulate your blood sugars, and it helps to sort of cut off that hunger signal. But I like beetroot powder, and the dates are incredibly high in a trace mineral called boron. And if you're menopausal, boron is incredibly good to sort of help regulate your hormones, and it's something that a lot of us are deficient in. Just, you don't need an awful lot of boron, but it's very, very important. So if you like dates, add them as a healthy snack every day, ideally just 4 or 5 dates. But I chopped them up in my dessert last night. I think I chopped up 3 or 4 of them. They're very high in fibre as well, because a lot of people say, but yeah, aren't dates really sweet? They are quite sweet actually, but because they're so high in fibre, and they've also, you know, they're jam-packed with other vitamins and minerals, and boron, the fact that they're quite high in sugar is not really of any relevance. So a few dates are not going to do you any harm at all. So that's a really healthy dessert. And if, in fact, if you like more of a sort of a gooey dessert, you can always blend it up. Just put, you know, like those moolies that you can get, just blend it up. You might want a little bit extra banana to give it a bit more moisture, but that, maybe like a little drop of milk as well if you want, you know, depending on the consistency that you like. But that makes a really, really taste so decadent, but it's a really healthy dessert. Doesn't spike your blood sugars, and it will cut your cravings, but it will also give you a real nutritional boost, and it's very, very high in fibre. So bear that in mind as well. So I mean, just to summarize, try and prioritize sleep when you can, and when you can't, just go for it and really enjoy it. Veggies most, or salad most, and then plate up the other little bits and pieces. Water, so water, alcohol, water, alcohol, water, alcohol. Have a large glass of water before you go out. Have a large glass of water before every meal. It does help to fill you up as well. Out of sight, out of mind, so don't leave chocolates and things lying around if they're a temptation for you. And just be, you know, try those healthy substitutes. So instead of pasta, do the spaghetti squash or the zoodles. Instead of instead of rice, try cauliflower rice. And instead of sort of bready dips, use raw vegetables. So I hope that's helped. Just have a blast. I can't wait. I'm really excited. I don't know when I'm going to have my first glass of wine. Probably will over Christmas at some point. It's a challenge. I feel like once I start again, it's going to be tough to stop. But then my boot camp, we are going to be diving deep into nutrition as well, because all our workout programs come along with nutrition. But I'm actually going to be running 2, possibly even 3 actually, because I learned about a new program that's launching the same day I'm starting my boot camps. And if any of you have been following along, this is all about boot camp now. So if you guys want real accountability, you know, listen in. If you don't, then just go away now, because it might not be of any interest to you. But the program I've just finished doing, the 6-week program, which was sort of pitched at advanced level, an intermediate to advanced level, they've just brought out a 4-week prep workout, so to bring beginners and intermediates up to the intermediate to advanced level, so that you can attack the 6 weeks and really, really go for it and get maximum results. So if you wanted to get involved with that, I will be running a boot camp specifically for that group. I will also be running a boot camp for the new Bar Fusion workout program that we've got launching soon. They will both be starting on the 6th of January. And then I've got my regular multi-program boot camp, where I've got loads of people in it, and we all keep each other accountable, and everybody follows their own different workout, because we've got so many different ones. So people are at different stages. Some are just starting, others have been in there for crikey, going 300 plus days. So maybe even 500 plus days. I mean, they've been in there ages and ages and ages. But again, it's a safe community, and you will be following nutrition. You'll be I'll help you choose the workout program that suits you best, and it's a whole heap of fun, and it keeps you accountable too, because you know, like if you don't show up, I'll give you a few days, because I know we all get really busy, but then I will come knocking on your Facebook Messenger or your Instagram Messenger door asking what's up and how I can help you. I'm here to support you on your journey and to be your biggest cheerleader when you succeed in getting the results that you want, or you know, whatever your results are. Not everybody wants to lose weight. Some people just want to tone up. Some people just want community, and they want to join a fun, uplifting community. So whatever your needs are, then that's where I will accommodate, and that's where I will help you and support you. So or if you've even thought, you know, you want to do this as a coach, you watch me as a coach and you think, this is what I want to do too. How do I do it? I'm also running a coach apprenticeship program, which will probably start on the 6th of January as well. It's going to be a very busy week, where you're actually going to get the chance to, for absolutely free, for the first week, to work as a coach alongside me and my team. And we will educate you, teach you what sort of the basics of being a coach is all about. And we'll obviously share some income stats and share, you know, each of our stories and how it's affected us and what it's allowed us to do, how it's allowed us to dream bigger too. And but you'll actually be hands-on. It's like a coach apprenticeship program, so you will be learning the ropes without having to invest anything in it at all. And it'll be in a private group, and it'll just be a small amount of time each day for you to say, to learn something and then actually implement it. And then the next day it'll be something else that you'll learn and implement. And then you can get to the end of the 7 days and think, well, actually, I really enjoyed that, and I do think coaching is for me. Or you might think, oh, no, I don't want to do that, in which case that's fine. But I think having the opportunity to actually experience what it's like as a coach for 7 days, doing the stuff that I do, it'll give you a really good indication as to whether it's the sort of thing that you would enjoy doing. So, you know, whatever you want, whether you need health and fitness, whether you just need nutrition, whether you want coaching, and whether you want coaching, nutrition and health and fitness, just reach out and contact me, because I'm here to help, and I will help you. I don't leave people in the lurch. I really support my people who come into my boot camps, and I really also support my coaching team, because there's an investment there, and I want you to really feel that you're a part of our community, but also that I'm here to help you get your results. There's a lot of crap out there, and I know, and you know, various companies. I don't think ours is so bad, but there are some companies out there who just got a bad approach, and I don't like. In fact, I kind of wish I hadn't started to say that, because I don't want to be negative about any other companies, but I appreciate that social media is a bit of a sort of a minefield at the moment. All I want to say and iterate is that you will be well looked after in regardless of what your goals are and what your needs are. I'm very invested in people who invest in themselves and within our community. So just be rest assured that you will be really well cared for. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope it helps you get through the festive period without too many hiccups. But at the end of the day, what do we have it? One time a year. And the 6th of January will be rolling around, and that's when we can all really dig in again. And, you know, if we've let it go, doesn't matter. 6th of January is still going to come around, and we can start strong. And if you stay on track a bit and you're really proud, well, then you've got a head start. So just have the most fantastic time. And tell all those who are close to you how much you love them. I think that's the best part about Christmas, being together. Presents, very little bit of fun. A lot of stress trying to work out what to buy, but on the whole, it's a time to chill out a bit and just share times with each other. I think that's way more important than anything else. So have a blast, you guys, and I will see you soon.